This is Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. We are in the book of Jeremiah. We are in chapter 42. And we're looking at some dilemmas that actual people were up against in the day of Jeremiah. The same kind of people we have on the earth today. Cut out of the same cloth, born in sin from their mother and father's womb, follow the life of sin until they're faced with God. And when they're faced with God, they have a choice. God said your choice needs to be one of two things. Either I will that you, God, lead, guide, and direct me, and I will follow what you say. Now, the written word of God we have. Be it a shame to us if we do not follow that written word. Here's a group of people that came to Jeremiah. They had some word, but they didn't have the application of word that we have today. They didn't have the pages that we have today. They didn't have the luxury and liberty that we have today. What they did have is they lived from daylight to dark, and from dark to daylight was a time when they had to either use fire or could barely see or could not do what we can do. They were not only captive of the hour of the day, but they were captive of the wickedness of that day without a prophet. So God sent a prophet. His name was Jeremiah. Jeremiah was the mouthpiece for God. God sent Jesus Christ to the cross in the middle of the Old and New Testament. And the New Testament has been written up till when it was not written, and then it will go on forever. And one day, it probably does already now in heaven, will definitely supersede the amount of writings there is in the Old Testament. Now, the Old Testament writings are given for you and I to see, to look at, and look at the I wills and the I will nots. And the I wills are supposed to win over the I will nots. Now, if you want to look at the Bible as two football teams, there's the I will team and there's the I will not team. Which team are you on? Are you on the winning team? There is a team that's going to win the Super Bowl, and that's the I will team. It's already been written down in God's annals of history. The I will team will win. The I will not team is flat going to lose. Already lost. They're still fighting though. And they're going to fight in the battle until the end. Let's look at those nots. In verse 13, he said, but if you say, we will not dwell in this land, neither obey the voice of the Lord your God, saying no. The world today has said no to Jesus, has said no to God, has said no to the Bible, has said no to the prophecies, has said no to the preacher, has said no to the layman, has said no to the Christian music, has said no to everything that is good. By saying no, verse 14, but we will go into the land of Egypt, where we shall see no war, nor hear the sound of the trumpet, nor have hunger of bread, and there we will dwell. Do you know something? That's what the world has said today. They have become slaves to the world. The children of Israel had done this. They had gone into Egypt. They had been slaves. And if they were going to return slaves if they didn't change their ways. Verse 15. And now therefore hear the word of the Lord, ye remnant of Judah. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, if ye wholly set your faces to enter into Egypt, and go to sojourn there, then it shall come to pass that the sword which ye fear shall overtake you there in the land of Egypt, and the famine whereof ye were afraid shall follow close after you there in Egypt, and there you shall die. Wow. He's saying, you're going to die separated from me if you will not hear what I say. Man, do I see the people living in Egypt today? Look around. Do you see some of God's own people living in Egypt today? They can't put food on their own table. Can't pay their light bill, can't pay their rent, can't pay nothing. Can't put gas in their car. Can't move. You know what happens? They can smoke. They can drink. They can do the way of Egypt. But they can't feed their own face or feed their own self. Government's taking care of them. That's what Egypt did. Egypt took care of them and said, we'll take care of you. You just work for us. We'll feed you. We'll give you food. You just work for us. That's all. Just come on over here. We'll put you in a house. You just work for us. And that's where we're coming to today. That's where we're going to be. Not far from now in this land right here. We're going to be working for another race. We're going to be working for another people. God's going to let those kings of Babylon take over this area of the world if we don't get on the ball with some I wills rather than the I will nots. We're talking right now about if you say I will not. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, as mine anger and my fury hath been poured forth upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, so shall my fury be poured upon you, when ye shall enter into Egypt, and ye shall be an execration and an astonishment and a curse and a reproach, and ye shall see this place no more. God said, go ahead, big boys. If you don't want to listen to me, and you say I will not, go ahead. But I'm going to tell you, you think what I've been putting on you so far or allowing you to have in your life so far has been bad? And believe me, it had been bad. He said, it's going to be worse. It's going to be worse than this. And the Lord hath said concerning you, O ye remnant of Judah, remember now, these aren't the people in Jerusalem. This is Judah God's dealing with over here. And this was the remnant in Judah of the people of Israel. Go ye not into Egypt. Know certainly that I have admonished you this day. Has God come and admonished you one day? God came and admonished me November 5th, 1972, and changed my life completely. And it's been changed every day since then. I looked up to heaven and said, God, I am a sinner. Forgive me of my sin. Come into my heart. Save my soul.